entry itself was done in probably a couple of hours the night before it was due, and this was done in a couple of minutes before it was due. So it all fits in with the quick theme. So yeah, cool. The main idea, so the brief we received was to ignite the issue of awareness amongst influencers and inform them with an understanding of the signs of the various eating disorders and illnesses and the path they can take to kind of reach help. We didn't really like that. We thought it's probably not so much about reaching the people who are going to be sufferers, but reaching their friends and families and relatives, because people know about the risks. Like, even the people who are sufferers probably are aware of the risks. It's more just when you're young, it's not a big issue. So it's like anything, when you're young, you go and get really drunk because you don't think about that. So we thought it's about reaching influencers, such as their friends and their idols.
So then our idea, so we came up with a concept called the Speak Out campaign, whereby we would encourage influencers, friends and the like to speak out about eating disorders and encourage their friends to speak out. So it's all about breaking the cocoon of silence. So this is one for Alex, which is cocoon minus silence equals broken cocoon. So we thought we'd just throw that in there to keep the number thing happening. So yeah, a bit more on the idea from Joel.
Yeah, so we'd be using various broadcast media, but we'd also be going beyond that. So it's basically going to function that we will have the initial phase, which will be all about reaching people who potentially have already known people who have suffered, and from that generating content. You shouldn't be laughing, it's a serious issue.
Birdie's wearing women's clothes.
Doesn't feel like weird.
Oh dear, this is terrible.
Cool. So yeah, so basically we came up with 3 pieces to the puzzle, and these were engage, amplify, and instigate. So by engage, we chose 2 partners in going about engaging our target audience, which we decided was young females, typically between about 13 to 25. And for these media partners, we chose Dolly and Nova FM. The reason for this was because these are the 2 highest indexing. These are the 2 highest indexing properties for our target audience. So, yeah.
So the bigger idea that we had with that partnership is that we'll run a competition. So the idea is that we invite readers and obviously listeners to nominate friends or family who have dealt with eating disorders of any kind and overcome those. 20 of those nominees will then be featured in an issue of Dolly, and it will be a bit of a profile on them, their story, how they feel about overcoming it, and what their hopes and aspirations are for anyone else who might be suffering. And from that, readers will be able to nominate who they think the most courageous individual was, and then there'll be an awards event with a celebrity ambassador and such, and basically from there we'll be able to generate a whole heap of content, so filmed on the night, photos, the stories from the people, and from that we'll move into the amplify section, which is where we take the content that we've generated, we take the stories, and we push those out through a combination of broadcast media, so that's various channels. I think we opted to go with outdoor, as well as obviously continue the radio partnership with Nova, and then online across sites like Facebook, Live Messenger and MySpace.
Just going back quickly to the engage slide, it was too quick, so Ruby Rose was who we chose to be our celebrity ambassador, just as an example of that. So moving on with instigate. So we recommended, so the king of all instigators, Woody Woodpecker, as Joel chose. So we recommended developing a digital hub within the existing Butterfly website, whereby there would be a messenger service where audiences could tap into to speak to counsellors about issues they're having, as well as communicate with each other, sort of in like a Java chat format, as well as download various PDFs, white papers, documents, whatever you like to call them, about the issue, as well as where to find help and where to find more information about the Butterfly Foundation, and obviously after the event as well, find out information on the nominees and candidates and whatever.
If we look at the breakdown of investment by channel, It's actually split pretty evenly between outdoor, print and digital. Obviously on this chart digital is split into 3 areas, which was display, search and social, and each of those get about 31% with the remaining 7% going into radio. Obviously print and outdoor were upweighted just because of the cost of the media.
So here's our media timeline. So the timeline also follows the Engage, Amplify and Instigate, with July to September where the gala event is primarily focusing on Engage, and September onwards focusing on Amplify and then Instigate. So so we planned on evaluating mainly obviously through our online channels, using a lot of results such as Google Analytics as well as third-party ad server data. Joel?
And in addition to that, we would be able to pull in call centre data. So based on that, we can kind of get the true idea of how many outreaches we managed to generate. Based on the fact that we believe we're significantly lowering that kind of barrier to entry by bringing the messenger capability online, which means that people don't have to take that extra step of picking up a phone and talking directly, and they're able just to type. We actually think that we can exceed the original target and reach 4,200 reach outs. And we leave you with this, which is a picture of Obama and a unicorn telling Betty she's not ugly.
Thanks guys.
Well, you already know what the Butterfly Foundation is and does, so we just thought we'd put the logo there for extra effect. In case you hadn't seen it the first time. This is also a very, very difficult task to time, and we don't have any fancy algorithms or explicit imagery, so apologies for task. Oh, there we go. Great.
Anyway, the task was to develop a campaign that demystifies this illness amongst influencers and empowers them with the knowledge and tools to engage the Butterfly Foundation's help. So basically we didn't want to take the conventional approach and sort of get celebrities involved. Therefore our aim,
we decided to eradicate and demystify the mentality of eating disorders by providing reasons to start conversations about them. So we didn't want to just attack the traditional sort of have you had an eating disorder before and what have you, but get people who haven't had eating disorders to start talking about it. And how are we going to do that?
like this. Basically, we're trying to target young people and get them to start talking about things that weren't traditionally talked about. And as you can see here,
this is Jacinta and Bobby, and they're talking about Bobby's t-shirt.
And that's how our campaign pretty much starts off.
That's the idea.
And that's what we called Make Your Mark, the Make Your Mark campaign. Basically, I think we've got 3 slides about this thing.
Yeah, talk long.
So it's basically, it's a t-shirt that you have to design. It was a competition put out to the public.
Yeah, we basically, we wanted to encourage young people to create a t-shirt, and the idea was it's got to incorporate a butterfly somehow, somewhere. In any way, shape or form. So we decided to make a design your t-shirt competition, Make Your Mark. And we just thought it spoke to the influencers and the people we were trying to target, because it's a creative, innovative sort of way that people can feel involved in a campaign but don't necessarily have to connect fully with the purpose of the campaign. So we've got an angry graffiti artist making something. People can draw, people can do graphic design. It was just a way to let anybody enter the competition.
Yeah, through TAFE and colleges and creative sort of means as well.
So there are a couple of key insights we found about our both who we were targeting and who we wanted to be part of the campaign. And we realised that celebrity influence was a big thing, and they listened to that, and also they used online social media as their sort of space.
So basically our campaign was split into 3 phases. We broke it up into a key objective, which was to create conversation about eating disorders. And it was split up into phase 1, stimulating conversation, phase 2, amplifying, and then phase 3 was creating a legacy. And this is basically just splitting it up for you.
Yeah, so the competition would just be on the Butterfly Foundation website. It would also be posted in on Twitter feeds, and Facebook as well. They have a causes website on Facebook, so it would be available there. We'd also probably send out
to TAFE and COFA colleges to sort of bring awareness about the issue, so educate the youth as such.
Threadless is an awesome like t-shirt designing site. Like you can buy any kind of t-shirt that you can design your own, or you can buy what other people's have made.
XYZ was also another network, Channel V, and also the VJs would utilise that as PR leverage, I guess.
Yeah, we didn't want to advertise with them, but we wanted to use their access to celebrities and places and things to sort of give leverage to our competition.
And this is a sample of a billboard that we were thinking of like possibly using.
Because these are all the channels we were going to use. So outdoor was one. Social media is the next one. So again, the hype of, oh, I've made this t-shirt, like, go and vote for my t-shirt or go and purchase my t-shirt. So you're creating this sort of news feed, people will be twittering about it. And threadless.com. So this is they'd all be available for purchase online. So you'd be able to go up and purchase whatever t-shirt you like. Some might obviously be more popular than others. But the idea was that there'd be
the proceeds would then also go towards the Butterfly Foundation and also to sort of increase their call-out rate by 25%, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this was the XYZ networks that we were talking about. We were just sort of going to use, because they have a lot of access to celebrities, and maybe encourage sort of designers to do their own t-shirt as well, because they have that access to be able to sort of PR the campaign to people like that. And
pop-up stores was another means that we were going to sell t-shirts through. Basically just, I guess, texting and twittering venues like a few days before they were going to go on sale, and people can go and purchase them that way as well.
Yeah, it's just something new and probably speaks to the target audience as well. This is a very boring slide and most of you probably can't even see it, but that was how we were going to measure our campaign. And basically it's quantitative and qualitative measurements, which are just quantitative, obviously numbers and things that you can count. So things like I likes, posts, all those sorts of things. Qualitative is just measuring quality. Which quality would be very high. So
and this is leaving a legacy, so everyone would be wearing our t-shirt. Or
they may not all be shadow people, but there'll be people nonetheless, and they'll be wearing a whole different designs of t-shirts, and we want to sort of be going like, well, why is everybody wearing these butterflies, or why is everybody all of a sudden got butterfly t-shirts? And you start then from there to go into start talking about eating disorders, and that sort of thing. So it gives it a little bit of a fresh perspective on talking about something.
And the
result
quite
hard to talk about. And this is Rachel and I at the MFA Awards in September, and that's it. Thanks, guys.